I'm 96 years old, and I'm going to tell you something that might save you decades of pain. 5 things. 5 things I wasted my precious life on, and I'm lying here in this bed wishing someone had grabbed me by the shoulders 60 years ago and shaken some sense into me. But nobody did, so I'm going to do it for you, right now, before it's too late. My name is Leonard Hayes. I was a civil engineer for 42 years, built bridges, highways, things that still stand today. I was good at my job, damn good. But here's what nobody tells you about being good at your job. It can become the thing that destroys everything else. And that's the first thing I wasted my life on. Work. Endless, consuming work. I remember the night my daughter Sarah turned 7. My wife Eleanor had spent all day decorating the house with pink streamers and balloons. She'd baked a cake from scratch, chocolate with strawberry frosting, Sarah's favorite. And I called at 6 o'clock to say I couldn't make it. There was a deadline. There was always a deadline. I could hear Sarah crying in the background, and Eleanor's voice went cold. She said, "Leonard, she's only going to turn 7 once." And I said, "I know, but this project." And she hung up on me. I finished that project. Got a bonus for it too. $500. You know what that $500 is worth to me now? Nothing. Less than nothing. Because Sarah is 53 years old now, and when she visits me, which isn't often, there's a distance in her eyes, a wall that I built, brick by brick, every time I chose a deadline over a birthday, a promotion over a recital, a business trip over a Sunday morning breakfast. You see, I thought I was building something for my family. I was providing, that's what I told myself. But I wasn't building anything for them. I was building for my own ego. And by the time I realized it, Eleanor was gone. Cancer took her at 71, and I never got to retire with her like we planned. All those trips we were going to take, all those mornings we were going to sleep in, gone. Stop sacrificing the present for a future that isn't guaranteed. That's the first thing. Please hear me on this. The second thing I wasted my life on was holding grudges. And here's the thing. I was good at grudges. Professional level grudge holding. My brother Thomas and I didn't speak for 18 years. 18 years. You want to know why? Money. Our father left a small inheritance, and I thought Thomas took more than his share. I was so certain I was right. I replayed every conversation, every slight, every piece of evidence in my mind for years. And when Thomas died in 2009, I got a letter from his wife. She told me that Thomas had asked about me every single Christmas, every single one. He wanted to call, but he was too proud, just like me. And in that letter was a check, the exact amount I thought he had taken, plus interest, plus a note in his handwriting that said, "I'm sorry, Lenny. I never meant to hurt you." He had been planning to give it to me in person. He never got the chance. I cashed that check and donated every penny to charity because I couldn't stand to look at it. 18 years of silence over money that he was going to return anyway. And now I have no brother. I have no one to remember our childhood with. Let me tell you something. Forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's about you. It's about freeing yourself from a prison you built with your own hands. Don't die with your grudges. They're not worth it. Not a single one. The third thing. Oh, this one is going to sting. I wasted years of my life caring about what people thought of me. I was so worried about looking successful, looking respectable, looking like I had it all figured out. I bought a house I couldn't afford because my colleagues lived in nice neighborhoods. I joined a country club I never used because it looked good on paper. I stayed in a career I had stopped loving because switching would have seemed like failure. And you know what I discovered at 96? Nobody was watching. Nobody cared. All those people I was trying to impress, most of them are dead now. And the ones who are still alive, they don't remember what car I drove or what neighborhood I lived in. They remember if I was kind. They remember if I laughed. They remember if I made them feel seen. I spent so much energy performing my life instead of living it. I was an actor in my own existence, and when I finally stopped caring, somewhere in my early 80s, I found a freedom I can't even describe. I started wearing whatever I wanted. I started saying what I actually thought. I started doing things just because they made me happy. Why did I wait so long? Why did I let imaginary judgments steal so many years? You're doing it right now. I know you are. Worrying about how you look, what they'll think, whether you're enough. Stop it, right now. The people who matter don't care, and the people who care don't matter. The fourth thing I wasted my life on was waiting. I was a world-class waiter. I'll travel when I retire. I'll write that book when the kids are grown. I'll tell her how I feel when the moment is right. The moment was never right. You know what happens when you wait? Life doesn't. There was a woman before Eleanor. Her name was Margaret. We were 22, and I loved her in a way that scared me. She was wild and unpredictable, and she made me feel alive. And I thought, I need to get established first. I need to have a career, a house, stability. Then I'll come back for her. I'll be ready then. By the time I was ready, she had married someone else, moved to California. I heard she became a painter. And sometimes, even now, I wonder what life would have looked like if I hadn't waited. If I had just said yes when she asked me to run away with her. I loved Eleanor, don't misunderstand me. We had a good life. But I learned something from losing Margaret. There is no perfect time. The perfect time is a lie we tell ourselves because we're afraid. Whatever you're waiting for, whatever you're putting off, do it now. Call them now. Book the trip now. Say the words now. Tomorrow is a promise nobody can keep. And here's the thing about waiting. It's connected to the fifth thing I wasted my life on. Fear. Pure, simple fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of looking foolish. Fear of being hurt. I was so afraid of living that I barely lived at all. I had a chance to start my own engineering firm when I was 45. My best friend Walter wanted to partner with me. We had clients lined up. We had a solid plan. And I said no. Too risky, I told him. What if it fails? Walter started that firm without me. He built it into one of the most successful engineering companies in the state. He worked until he was 80, doing what he loved, surrounded by people he chose. And I stayed at my safe job, doing work that had stopped challenging me decades earlier, counting down the days until retirement. Fear didn't protect me. It just made my life smaller. And now, at 96, lying in this bed, I have very few fears left. It's liberating, actually. I say exactly what I think. I don't worry about making mistakes because what's the worst that can happen? But oh, how I wish I had felt this freedom at 26, at 46, at 66. Don't let fear shrink your life. It's not keeping you safe. It's keeping you from everything. So there they are, the 5 thieves that stole decades from me. Work that consumed instead of sustained. Grudges that poisoned instead of protected. Caring about opinions that didn't matter. Waiting for moments that never came. And fear that built walls instead of bridges. I can't get those years back. But maybe my telling you this means something. Maybe you'll close this video and call someone you've been avoiding. Maybe you'll finally take that risk. Maybe you'll forgive someone, or forgive yourself. Maybe you'll stop performing and start living. I read every comment you leave, every single one, and I want to hear your story. Which of these 5 have you wasted time on? What would you go back and change? Tell me in the comments. This old house gets quiet, and your words make it feel like I'm still part of the world. And if this meant something to you, subscribe. Do it for the person you'll be in 20 years, the one who will need to hear these words again. And if you know someone who's wasting their life on any of these 5 things, share this with them before it's too late, before they end up like me, lying in a bed full of regret. Peace. That's what I want for you. Not success, not fame, not money. Peace. The peace that comes from knowing you lived your life instead of watched it go by. I didn't find it until the very end. But you still have time. Use it wisely. Please.